Okay, so what I want to do is practice a little bit in the shell and then maybe write a program together that we could say we've done a program. So I've got Python open. We have traditionally been importing all of Turtle because it just makes it a little bit easier to say at the beginning. But for today, let's import just part of Turtle. So from Turtle, now Turtle is the name of the module. So whenever you save a file, whenever I ask you to write a program and you save it and then maybe send it to me, the file that you saved is called a module. So there actually is a module called Turtle. We can go into your computer's folder explorer. We can find that file, open it up, and look at the code. But within that module, there are many different things, and they're called classes. And classes contain methods and variables. There's also functions. And so we can import certain functions, or we can import entire classes, or we can import everything. I want to just import the Turtle class. The purpose of a class, and you can see it now appears on my variable list as something that I have imported. It is open and running in my interactive shell. I've got view variables turned on because it helps me to understand what's happening. So I have imported the class Turtle, and what that's going to allow me to do is to create lots of turtles. So I'm going to make a list of turtles, and I'm going to add them to the. Okay. So let's call them T list. T list. Now, when you make a list, you can either start with stuff in it or you can add to it. So I'm just going to start with an empty list. And you'll notice that it appears here on my list. So the purpose of a list, just like anything, is to be able to store information all in one place. I mean, when you make a shopping list, you take a piece of paper and you write down all the things you want to buy, and it's convenient because it's all in one piece of paper. If it wasn't a list, you'd have to write down one item you're going to get from the store on each piece of paper. So you come to the store and you have to pull out a piece of paper and look at what you get and throw away that piece, and then pull out another piece of paper, look at it, and throw it away. No, we want it all together. That's so I only need one variable name for the list. So I'm going to say tlist dot append. So the word append is a method that belongs to the list class that allows us to add things to it. If you just put a dot after an object, you'll get a list of the different things that you can do, and you can kind of see all the different options that we have. I hit tab after I press the dot. And so I'll select append and then put parentheses because all methods need parentheses. And I'm going to add a turtle. I'm just going to pull up the turtle docs right quick because I want to look at some of the turtle documentation together. So here's the turtle class. It's got some nice example code. And we have the overview of the turtle, right? And all the different things that you can do. So I just want to make sure that you all know where this is. I just Googled, turtle documents Python. And somewhere here we ought to be able to find the constructor. Oh, why can't I find it? Match case. Well, I don't see all the different ways that I can call turtle and give it the different things. Okay. Well, I was hoping I'd be able to figure out, but I think you can actually put in a color. That's what I wanted to look for. No, it doesn't allow that. Okay, so never mind on that. Let's just make it a turtle. Okay, so I've created a turtle, and notice that all I did was say the name of the turtle constructor. Okay? I think I'll look up different turtle constructor. Well, all right. So we've got our turtle that we can see here. And I want to add another turtle. So I'll add another one. And let's add one more as well. So we now have 1, 2, 3 turtles all stacked on top of each other. Now, if I look at my variables, you'll notice that I've got several different turtles here. 1, 2, actually it should be 3. If I not hit enter on that, yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color on some of these turtles. So the way that I get the first turtle in my list is I put bracket 0. So T list square bracket 0 tells me to get the turtle at that position. And we change its color by calling the color method, and I'll say red. And you'll notice one of the turtles is now red. I'm going to move that turtle forward. And you'll notice that the red turtle moved forward. The other turtles are still there. Let's change the second turtle to color purple. The second color is actually at index 1. So I've now made one of my turtles purple. Let's turn that turtle left. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just turn left 45 degrees. Okay? And then we'll make that turtle go forward. And if you press the up arrow, it actually brings up what you last typed in. Might save a little bit of typing, right? Forward. All right. And so now you can see I've still got a black turtle at where I made them, one purple turtle that way, and one red turtle that way. And then T-list bracket 2, let's change this color to orange. And I'm going to turn that turtle, I'm going to turn that turtle left 225 degrees and go forward. So as you can see, we're able to control a variety of different turtles with just one variable name because we're using a list, and then getting a specific turtle by using its index in the list. Okay? Now let's talk about looping through a list. There are several different ways you can do that. Let me clear so I'll go back up to the top. So I'm going to make each one of these turtles make a circle, okay? So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say for I in range, and what I need to put inside here is how many turtles I have. And how many turtles do I have? 3. So I'll just put 3 there. And then I'll say t-list bracket I. And because the range function returns a list of numbers starting at 0 and going up by 1, 0, 1, 2, but not including 3, that's perfect. And I'm just going to give it a circle with a radius of 50. And I want to be able to see it while it happens. So I'm going to kind of minimize my screen here. All right. I don't think we need to see our variables right now. All right. Now, hopefully when I hit enter, we should see it happen. There's one turtle. Now is the next turtle and the third turtle. Now, there is a problem with this, though, because sometimes you don't know how many items are in your list. Also, I don't want to have to try and keep track of how many numbers are in my list all the time. But luckily, there's a function that tells it to me. The difference between a function and a method, range is actually a function. I may have called it method earlier, but it's a function. Is that a function, you just say the command. A method, you have to call it with a dot on an object. So t-list bracket I returns a different turtle object, and we call its method. So the function is called len. And you'll see it turns a special color like all the built-in functions because it knows that's a special thing. And I'm going to put in there t-list, and it's going to tell me that the length of the list is 3 because there are 3 items in it. And this makes it a lot easier for me to code this. I just have to put it inside here, and then I know that I'm going to get the perfect range. And I don't have to just remember the number 3. I'm going to do circle 100 this time. Well, no, let's do 20. So that is a very helpful function to remember, the length function. Okay? We can also do a loop where we loop through each turtle in the list one at a time automatically. And for that, once again, I'm going to be making, oops, I didn't mean to hit up there. Once again, I need to make a variable here. Instead of I'm just going to use t for turtle. And instead of saying range, I just put the name of the list. And so what's going to happen is that the variable t will be the first turtle object in my list, then the second turtle object, then the third turtle object. And so for this time, I'm going to tell it to go forward 100. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot my t. T is a turtle. T dot forward 100, t dot backward 100. And we should see our turtles move forward and backwards. You know, why don't we make them do a little 360? I'll turn right this time, 360 degrees, just so they, do a little boogie. And so we see them kind of do their thing there. Okay, so that's lists and a little bit more about calling methods and turtles and things like that. So hopefully y'all found that helpful. Let's write a program now so that we can do it together and turn it in. So I want to write a program. I'd like to write a program where we make a collection of turtles, and then the turtles just do a series of circles that get smaller and smaller. Okay? All right. So let's start with making by importing turtle. From turtle, import turtle. And I'm going to make a list of turtles. Let's call it TList again. This time, let's go ahead and make the turtles right here so that we can give it a list of turtles already. So this is another way to make a list. You just simply put in the list what you want in there. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. All right, so I got 10 turtles in there. There we go. We could have also used a loop to append them, couldn't we? All right, so what I want to do first is I want to change the colors of the turtle. So let's make a list of colors. You ready? And so I want to think of about 10 different colors as strings. How many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a couple more. Let me look those up as well. They do. They do have some weird, different ones. It looks like we done purple? Have we done? How about cyan? Oops. Cyan. And how about dark green? Let me see how many that is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 2 more. Let's try magenta. And we'll try violet. And make sure that I have 10 turtles again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 turtles and 10 colors. Now we need to give all of our turtles a color. So, watch as I do that. 4. We're going to use a for loop. Is everyone caught up with the colors, or do they need to see what I have there? Now we're going to use a for loop to assign each one of our turtles a color. Okay, ready to continue? So again, when I write a for loop, I can pick any variable I want here. When I'm doing an I in range, I like to use I because I kind of stands for index or iteration, you know. So it's just kind of traditional. So I'm gonna say for I in range, and I can put 10 because I've counted. But let's do good coding. Let's say TList. Sorry, len TList. So what that's going to do is it's going to automatically count, the len function will count how many turtles I have in my list, and now I will go through each one of them. And so I want to take TList bracket I, that's going to be the ith turtle, as we call it. So it'll be the turtle 0, turtle 1, turtle 2, turtle 3. I want to change their color to colors bracket I. And so now I've made different colors for them. And now what I want to do is I want each turtle to make a circle, but I want each circle to get progressively smaller. So I want the first circle to be, I think, 300 pixels wide. We might want to come back and change that later, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? I want to move all my turtles down. Okay? Because right now they're in the center of the screen. Let's move them all down. So let's say after we change their color, let's pick their pin up. And let's move them down by saying right 90. So they start facing directly to the right. So I'll turn them down to where they face down 90 degrees. We'll move forward 200. And then we'll turn back left. I could have just used a go-to command probably. And then I'll put the pin back down. So I'm programming basically one turtle. As I'm writing this loop, I'm thinking about what do I want one turtle to do. I want one turtle to pick its pin up. I want it to turn right so it faces down, go forward, turn back left the way it was facing, and then put its pin back down. All I have to do is code it once, and then because the I will go through all those different numbers for me, it's going to automatically do this for all of my turtles. All right, I'm a lot happier with that. This time I'll use for in range, and I'll say len t-list. And what I want to do is I want to make a circle. I want my first circle to be about 300 pixels. So I'm going to say t-list bracket in dot circle 300. But I want them to get smaller every time. So what I'm going to do is say minus 20 times in. So that as in moves from 0 all the way up to the last turtle, each one's going to get progressively smaller circles because we're subtracting 20 from it. This is y equals mx plus b from algebra class, where my y-intercept is 300 and my slope is a negative 20. Start at 300, get smaller by 20 with each iteration. Okay, let's run the code. Well, first I gotta save it apparently. You probably have to save it as well if you haven't done that. So this is a turtle list. I'll just call it that. Okay, there it goes. They're all moving down now. You can see them moving down one at a time. It is a big circle. It might be a little too big, or maybe if I moved it down more. So this is kind of computer generated artwork, but that's got it's a big push for that right now in graphics and graphic design. Notice how each circle is getting smaller as it decreases. All right, then that's the end of our program. So I think the only thing I'm going to change about mine is I'm going to make it go down a little bit further before making the circle. But other than that, it's done.